Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Madeline. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe to see more video and booktube content. This video, I am going to do stories I read and watched for winter 2023. I'm not doing monthly wrap-ups because I am a slow reader. I did not read as many books in the month of January or February, so I'm going to combine it together. So, books I read for winter of 23 is 4 books. I'm a college student, and I'm just going to keep it realistic. I'm going to keep it real. I read 4 books, and don't come for me in the comments, okay? But I'm okay with that. This book I read in 2023, well, period, in 2023, was City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book of the Immortal Instruments series, and it took me forever to read this book. I love the characters, the world building, I love the fantasy aspect of it. I think the last book was more action-packed. I think it was more action-packed towards the end. There was just a lot of stuff going on, just more character development. Jace and Clary's relationship, it was just giving incest the whole book. Jace and Clary are not actually siblings. I'm not sure if I heard that before, where I heard that, but they're not actually siblings. We see Clary's and Simon's relationship and how they didn't work out. Simon becomes a vampire. I feel so bad for Simon because people are bullying Simon. They're making fun of him. They're calling him mean things like mundane. Oh, vampire.
Like, we can't hang around you because you're a downworld.
And then we see this crazy thing go on and the end of City of Ashes, fighting Valentine. Clary learns new runes. I think it was amazing at the end. It was just kind of slow in the beginning, but I finally made it, and it took me forever to read it. The next book I read was Divergent. I love the world building. I don't think I would be able to get into Divergent. I think I would be Iredite, which is the faction of intelligence. The next book I read was Finding Audrey, about a girl who wears sunglasses throughout the house and she doesn't leave her house. She's afraid to go outside. Finally, she meets this guy and they come out with a cute romance, and it's very cute, lighthearted book. It's giving summer read, but I would recommend the book. The next book I read was The Vampire Diaries by L.J. Smith, the first book of the Vampire Diaries series. I read the audiobook for this. I thought the audiobook was weird because Stefan and Damon had Italian accents. They're from Mystic Falls, Virginia. They're not Italian, so for them to have accents in the book, I think it's not called Mystic Falls. I think it's called Great Falls. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, also it threw me off because Elena's blonde. So I rated it at 2 out of 5 stars. I think it's entertaining, but it just, I don't know. Now we're gonna go into the stories that I watched during the winter of 2023. So I'm the type of person that don't understand what's going on in the book. I will put away the book, and if there's a movie, I'll watch that first. I read Divergent a few years back, didn't understand what was going on. I think I watched it twice. Like, it was so good. Characters were great. I love the action. The next movie I watched was Megan, and I saw this in the movie theater, from the creators of Annabelle. It's about a girl whose parents died in a car crash. She moved in with her aunt, and her aunt is a toy maker. She ended up making an evil doll. You don't want to walk in thinking Megan is a horror movie. It's like thriller with comedy. Like, there was parts where Megan was singing to the little girl. The whole movie theater was laughing. It was just giving comedy. The next series that I started watching and I finished in February was Looking for Alaska. It's about a friend group of 4 kids. They end up being friends because they pull pranks on the staff at the school. It's about a girl named Alaska. Starts off light and fun, but then it truly opens up what happened to Alaska. It was a really good story, but very heartbreaking to watch as well. The next movie that I watched this year was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is the best movie of the Harry Potter. We have the dragons, the Quidditch World Cup. It's just the most exciting and most eventful movie of the series. Next one I saw in the movie theaters was Black Panther, Wakanda Forever in February for Black History Month. I loved it because it had representation of the Latino community and the Black community, of course, but it also had representation of women empowerment, which is really important. I love that they showed the woman running the country, how they were able to handle T'Challa's death and how they use their name to represent who they are, but not losing who they are as well. And I think the story was a really empowering story. I did not like how they made the Latino community the bad guys. I think that they could have had more representation. The last TV show show that I started, which I'm currently on season 1. I'm rewatching Once Upon a Time. I've never finished the series. It's just cute watching Henry as a little kid. Once Upon a Time is like a grim story of the actual fairy tales, and it tells like the true story of the fairy tales. Those are all the shows and movies that I watched of winter of 2023. Let's go into my spring TBR. Spring 2023, I have a lot of books I want to read. Some books I did not start for the winter, so I want to read that now, but I have some new books on my list. Some are the same. First book I want to read is Insurgent by Veronica Roof, which is the second book of the Divergent story. I'm excited to dive in to see what happens to Trish and Four after they leave Dauntless. The next book I want to read is The Austere Academy, which is the 5th book of the series of unfortunate events. The next book I want to read, I did not get to read this in the winter. I want to read Looking for Alaska by John Green. The TV show was really long, but it's just a standalone book, so I just want to see how they were able to compress all those events happening into that small 300-page book. The next book I want to read is Mockingjay, which is the 3rd book of the Hunger Games series, and this is one of my favorite series to watch. I love dystopian books, love corrupt government series. It's just interesting. Next book I want to read is The Book Thief. It's about a girl who lives in Nazi Germany, and I know that she steals books that are technically banned. She uses those banned books to learn how to read. The next book I want to read is Concrete Rose, which is the prequel to The Hate U Give. And the next book I want to read is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. The next book I want to read is The Maze Runner. I want to read I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Free 4. It is Tobias or Four's point of view of like the knife throwing scene. That's when he was starting to feel something for Trish. Confessions of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. This is her series that she has that I want to read more about this author because I like her quirkiness. It's something fun and something quick to read. Matt and Elena's First Date, which is like the in-between book for the Vampire Diaries, and it's an extra book of it. Even in the TV show, like they talk about when they went out. We never really hear about like other characters' perspectives or what happened before Stefan. Next I want to read is The Struggle, which is the 2nd book of the Vampire Diaries. Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I think you need to read the first 3 Mortal Instruments series before you read Informed Neural Devices to read Clockwork Angel, because then you'll understand a little bit about the Shadowhunter world. This book kind of tells you the history of like Shadowhunters. Next book is One Wish, which is the prequel to 13 Treasures by Michelle Harrison. This is a book about a girl who can see fairies, but there's fairies from the fairy court, which they're Stella fairies, which means evil fairies. These are not like pretty fairies. These are like little creatures that she can see. They're very mischievous, pranks on her. And then we have Destroy Me, which is the 1.5 book of the Shatter Me series. This book is in between the 1st and 2nd book, but one thing about like the shorter books of the Shatter Me series is like the regular books have their eyes open, and then the books in between have their eyes closed. That's all I have for you guys today. I will keep you updated in spring 2023 of all the books I was able to complete for that season. Thank you guys for following along with me on my reading journey, and I'll see you guys next time.